Hey guys, Troy Dooley over here at MLM Help Desk, and I tell you what, this is going to be one of those reviews that it won't be all inclusive, but we're going to try to bring you up to date on what's taking place, what's happening. Let's start with the first company that really shot into this thing, GI Connect. GI Connect is totally out of the wireless side of stuff now. They've moved into a whole new direction, so they're out, plain and simple. Next came FDI, Financial Destination Inc. They still have some wireless stuff going on, but they kind of went back to their core competency too on what they're doing. You know, right after that, because actually GI Connect and FDI kind of merged, that didn't go, that went south. Okay, two different cultures, that just didn't work. But really, it was right in that mix when Global Verge came on strong. They were going to offer a completely different type of phone service. Come to find out, Ben Polani kind of scammed them, and the next thing you know, it hit the fan. I mean, we went after them hard because we only had one side of it, and it looked like truly that they were scamming the distributors. Come to find out, it wasn't quite that way. They were getting scammed themselves. During that aspect is when Randy Jeffers over at Liberty International saw an opportunity in a field, and he said, "Let's go and capitalize on that." And they brought out a pretty solid product. I used it for months. And it was on the T-Mobile line, and they were cranking and they were growing. Randy lowered the price of entry from like the top package from thousands of dollars to hundreds of dollars. I mean, they were getting some really geometric progression. And just like the rest of these companies, right in the middle of it, something went south. They ended up getting in it with T-Mobile, you know, and then it just went nuts. Now the good thing is GI Connect and Liberty Freedom Network, which was WOW Mobile, they've started to regroup. I mean, you know, all of it's kind of simmered down, and they're starting to regroup with some new people. But out of these two companies, really launched all these other companies. Matter of fact, Zoom Mobile was launched by craziness that had happened at WOW. Now Zoom, I can honestly say, they are saying straight to their core, they're saying, look, we're just wireless, we're not, or telecommunications, we're not getting into this other garbage whatsoever. We're just going to keep it right here. And we're going to keep moving. And they've revamped some stuff, changed some platforms in the backside, did a bunch of stuff. A lot of rumors that ran around that, but I think it was purely a business decision. And what I really, truly admire is George Burton's been on the phone doing training calls. When your CEO and the founder of the company is doing the calls, you can pretty much tell that he's pretty focused on building an organization and making things work. And that's the important part. Out of Global Verge came Panther Mobile. Harry Aston is going to be on the phone with me next week. We're going to be talking about Panther Mobile from the early days until where it's at today. And as you guys know, they've had their own struggles, their ups and downs. They were scammed by some pretty bad people themselves and got hurt. It's funny how the little companies all seem to get scammed by certain people, and it's sad to see that because at the end of the day, it's the distributors that get hurt. And you know, on our blog, people all the time want to say, well, this person's not bad and that person's not bad. And you know, the sad thing about it isn't a matter of who's bad and who's not. It's a matter of when you don't know your head from the hole in the ground about business, when you don't know your head from the hole in the ground about the laws of direct selling, then it's the distributors that get hurt, and they get hurt bad, and I've seen that a lot. The largest organization at Global Verge left and launched PHPI, and they launched their own phone service over there. They're now in lawsuits with Global Verge. We'll see how that one turns out, but they didn't do any better. They've had just as much headache as Global Verge did. You know, a lot of times we think that if we launch our own company, it's going to be great, it's going to be better, and it doesn't turn out that way. It's more frustrating. It hurts worse. You have the same frustrations as you do, more so if you just stay a distributor. You know, you had Global Pros that launched, and they've got the UTalk, however you say that, which has been steadily growing. They've stayed out of the limelight. Ron Williams and I have talked on a consistent basis. You know, not a lot lately, but we stay in communication. I've been watching what they've done. They've not overhyped anything. They're just going. There was that John Gopal guy. Now he turned out to be kind of whacked. He took a lot of people on a ride that just isn't right. I know his partner Susan Bateman. Man, she believed in him. And they were another big leg over at Global Verge, and they went to launch their own company. And come to find out, you know, Gopal took her for a ride financially, and a lot of his team members, just like he did some people from Monavie, and that was sad to see. You know, I would think that people would just live up to their word, and we don't see that happen all the time. So that's been very frustrating. So we've seen a lot of this hiccup that's taken place. We saw a guy purportedly named Chris Greco that came onto the scene with Global Verge and was going to be their saving grace, and right in the middle of that he switched and went over to what we know as Panther Mobile. And then he switched from there and he jumped over for a little bit to do some stuff with what was that company that was run by Piccolo? Whatever that company was, he was going to go do some stuff with them, and then he jumped from there and was going to do some stuff with Wow. I mean, it's just a continuation, you know, where we see things. And then we find out he's not really Chris Greco, that he's a grifter, lied to a bunch of people, said he was dying of brain tumor. I mean, think about it. I mean, how asinine is that? You tell people on public calls, I'm dying of brain cancer, I'm going to die in 6 months, and then you're still out there scamming people. You know, and Global Verge went after him very, very heavy. Their attorneys and their investigators found out his name is really Tommy Keeley. His sister, Candace Keeley Smith, was part of the scam with him. I think she's the one that launched XL Telecommunications or something. I mean, it was most a bizarre year last year inside this niche, you know. And I looked at it and I said, well, did anything good come of this? And there really was. You know, it's funny. You can look at the risky startups and take your chances, or you can say, what else is happening? Well, let's look at Lightyear. Lightyear Network Solutions actually took and became a public entity. Their Lightyear Wireless, which is their direct selling arm, continues to plug along. It's not doing that massive growth that everybody would like, but after 6-7 years in business, they're still cruising. They're still doing some things. You know, I just got a press release that we'll put up here that was really, it was kind of cool to read, because this came out on the wires December 16th. Now, you got to understand that Lightyear's been losing money for quite a few years. They went public, then they merged. They went over and they acquired a small regional company, and this was great to know. This is, if I was a distributor with Lightyear Wireless, okay, I'd be excited about what my parent company's doing, because I think it's going to give them more products and services. See, you got to understand, Lightyear Wireless actually markets every one of the products of Lightyear. They've got VoIP, they got business services, they got local telephone service. Listen to this here. I got to put my spectacles on. I like this. This came out of Louisville. Lightyear Wireless Solutions. It's an over-the-counter stock, a provider of telecommunication services to business and residential customers throughout North America, has announced that it expects to attain profitability during the fourth quarter of 2010. Now, as soon as we get the financial statements, we'll do an update on this. If they're profitable, great. If they're not, we're going to share that. But the company has also provided unaudited statements, summary statements, showing the following. Consolidated revenues from October 31st of 2010 was $6.6 million, and that's for the month. Okay, that was up 70.4% from $3.8 million in October of 2009, and that was prior to the acquisition. Gross profits was $2.3 million, up 77% from $1.6 million. This is the fourth quarter is shaping up to be the strongest quarter to date. Now, it goes on, and we'll put that stuff up there. But that was some powerful news. We were excited about that. ACN got back into wireless. They also got into energy. They're looking to be a full-fledged, I think, utility company. But they got back into wireless. They're smoothing along. They became their own MVNO. So there's some stuff moving along there that we saw. Now, moving forward a little bit into 2011, looking at some of the stuff that's been shaping up. What's going on out there? What can we expect? Well, there's a new company that's contacted me that's come onto the scene. We're going to be doing some due diligence on this company right here. It's called Vitel. And been talking to some of their people, seeing what's going on, how they're doing it, what's happening, and we're going to dig deep into that. We're exploring, because they're not just a wireless company. They offer all kinds of different products, satellite services, etc., etc. As you look at what they have, they're really trying, I think, to be a full-fledged marketing arm, a marketing company, to provide them with things. I've got their policies and procedures that we're going through. We're digging deep. This is a brand new launch company. Will it make it? Don't know. but we're going to be doing some checking on it. All these companies are entering into a niche that I believe is not a long-term niche, not in the facet that a lot of them are thinking they can enter into. But that's one of the things over here at Vitel Wireless that I did find intriguing, because they're offering security services, they're offering satellite services, they're doing it a lot more like ACN has done it. They're doing it a lot more like Lightyear Wireless is doing it, even to a certain degree what Zoom is doing with offering a variety of products within their core competency. Anytime you get a company that does that, then you at least know that you're moving in the right direction, that you've got something that you can work with. And that I do like. I'm looking here to see what their product mix is. They offer Clear G4. If they're on, okay, here we go. They're offering AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Okay, so they're offering all four of the big ones. They got Homeland Security, they got Satellite, they got Merchant Services, North American Bank Card, they've got Cellular Service. So when you look at all of this stuff together, you see that the industry's still growing. Now, there's a couple other companies that are in the works. They're being tweaked out. And one of these companies contacted me, and they've asked me for some consulting stuff, and we've been just kind of helping them out a little bit to see what's going on, and we'll go that route. We'll see what happens. Monumental was another company last year that really launched in the right way. Now, I believe they shouldn't have launched as a wireless. We talked about this with their guys, and their guys understood too, and they're moving more into their auction block. They really want to be able to move it to a new they want to be able to get their auction portal going and doing some stuff there. And I believe that before it's all over, you're going to see more and more of their auction portal. I think they're going to figure out a way to put that on their cell phone. They're going to make that work in a way that's going to be better. All of these companies, and this is probably something that frustrates me, every one of them seems to use a forced matrix in these startup companies. I would not do that, okay, at all. I would have used a hybrid, a unilevel. I don't think a binary would have worked. An expanding matrix might. That's a hybrid. Basically, that's a hybrid unilevel. But these guys all want to go out there and they want to charge people money. They want to do all this stuff. That just doesn't work. Okay, so y'all be cautious. Okay, just watch each of the companies. If you're going to get into the wireless niche, that's great for you. Just understand that it's a volatile niche. And you need to search each company out. You need to do due diligence on the owners of those companies. You need to do due diligence on the business plan of that. And then you need to ask yourself this question. If getting involved with the company and getting your services with that company, will you save money over staying where you're at or going buying it from Walmart? If your service is going to cost you more, if there's not a 3 and it's free or 5 and it's free and it's a true free plan, if you don't have that, then you're probably not saving any money. So the question is, can you enter into this business niche that's already oversaturated? You've got kiosks in every street corner, every shopping mall, every fast food store, everywhere. It is a saturated market. That's what you've got to look at. Folks, live life like it's an epic adventure. I'll see you at the top.